Righty, ladies and gentlemen, it appears that we have quite a situation on our hands today. Previously, I thought I covered the cancellation of Glaive Keo by Bran Online weeks ago, but it appears that there's been another attack, another potential hit piece. And what I wanted to do today was actually look at some of the claims being investigated over here, where gacha YouTuber Zome, whatever it is, calls out Glaive Keo for AI generated scripts after submitting them into the AI detection tool over at ChatGPT. So, some pretty big claims to make right off of the bat. I heard that I mentioned in the video, taking a look at things like the like ratio, the view count, things like that, as well as the comments too. I'm gonna be honest, there's a lot of reasons for why people are saying it's not looking particularly good for Glaive. Why don't we find out together? Because we all know Plume of Death, the person that's broken some of this news, right? You can see it's already gotten a lot of hits. Them and Glaive Keo, they've got a little bit of beef. They've got a little bit of history. They've had some engagements online. Is this them just baiting, or is there more to the tale? Let's go ahead and find out together.
Recently, I was watching Glaive Keo's apology video when I noticed something really weird. The way he was talking sounded way too familiar, almost like I've heard it somewhere before. It sounded way too close to someone we all have inside our phones, and if you haven't guessed it by now, I'm talking about ChatGPT. The entire script for his apology video was generated by AI.
Okay, so the guy does talk a little bit slow. I'm just gonna move it up to 1.25x because of that. He kind of does, like, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. Editing is good and everything. It's just, bro does take a while to say his words. I did a little bit of digging. I did a little bit of research. There were some messages that I received in context of this. So why don't we just go ahead and take a look at Glaive's channel real fast. So there was one video that was shown up on the screen quite a bit in these opening couple of seconds, right? And that was that apology video from Glaive. The thing is that when I was looking at his YouTube this morning, I didn't actually see that video. So you're all open to interpret whatever you would like from what's happening over here. The video that got mentioned, let me find it. So so that video appears to either have been deleted or is privated. That is a fact. That is something that has occurred. And so, let me just take this opportunity to tell all of you that yes, I am going to be objective in this situation. I have in the past defended Glaive, right? For various instances where I felt like he was getting wrongfully attacked. But I'm heading into this video with the context that he's being accused of things in this video, and then that video has also been privated. Those are all facts. And so, I'm going to be cognizant of those facts as we go through the rest of this video. And unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on where you stand on in this side of the equation, that does mean I'm going to be very fair in the analysis of the points and the arguments that are being brought forth.
Video was generated by AI. In fact, he's using an AI-generated script for almost every single video. And since I know it might be hard to believe for some people,
so that's a bold claim. He's using one for every video.
I'm gonna show all the evidence and explain exactly how I can prove this. Alright, first of all, let me tell you guys exactly what it was about his video that made me realize he's 100% using AI. Now, I don't really watch Glaive Keo, but I was watching a reaction from Sane.
So this is how I got looped into the situation. Because I reacted to the video, and this guy watched it. Great. That's also the reason why, and guys, this is how you know I'm the next Voldemort. You can just look up. I have a feeling I have 18 mentions. I do think this is the only time here I'm in the video. I'm pretty sure this might be the only time I'm in the vid. Oh my lord. Oh my lord!
To a video from Glaive titled Wuthering Waves Just Soft Rebooted Itself. Now that title in itself is already pretty weird, but that aside, all it takes is just the first minute of this video to realize it's 100% AI. He's using the exact same phrasing 3 times within the first minute of this video.
There were no kits, no animations, not even a blurry screenshot. We watched the 2.8 developer livestream hoping for a teaser, a roadmap, or just a little hint of what we will get. The drought was real. The reliable leakers were empty-handed, and the community's excitement was starting to curdle into genuine frustration.
So, I'm going to be honest over here. That's the weakest bit of evidence I've ever seen. So, let me just... This is also a part of me being fair. Part of me being fair is recognizing the cognizant facts of this situation, right? Glaive deleted his video where he was accused of the AI. However, this initial take over here, that the video that I reacted to was AI... because of the examples that he just listed out, that's one of the most nonsensical things I've ever heard. And there's a reason for that. It's because there's something called, literally, the rule of threes, which everybody learns in writing classes in, like, elementary school. Where, that's why the 3 little pigs, the 3 billy goats gruff, Goldilocks and the 3 bears, the 3 musketeers... It's because humans naturally think in threes. Humans naturally think in threes. That's why it's triple A. Why isn't it quadruple A? Because people think in threes. That's why most logos are in threes. That's why it's the NBA. That's why it's the NFL. That's why it's the NHL. Right? That's why the WNBA isn't successful. There are other reasons for that, but you get what I'm saying. Anyways... The Holy Trinity. So, saying that somebody using the rule of threes in a video script is evidence of them using... Hey, who wrote the 3 Musketeers? This motherfucker, Alexandre Dumas, was using AI in 1844! Holy shit! He's the real founder of ChatGPT, Alexandre Dumas. So, are you guys beginning to understand that, yes, I am going to react to this fairly. There's a mark against Glaive for privating his vid, but what is this dog shit example? You're going to tell me somebody using the rule of threes is AI, is proof of AI.
And the community's excitement was starting to curdle into genuine frustration.
I'm sorry, bro. And that's why this video is going to be so controversial. Because this first example is literally the worst thing I've ever... There's a you can just look up the rule of threes. It's one of the most bare essential things in humanity.
This is the typical writing style of ChatGPT.
Did he just equate using the rule of threes to... If you use the rule of threes... You are Wait, I was just joking about. But, like, he literally just made it not a joke.
It always uses the exact same structure to emphasize a specific point. It always uses...
This is the danger of AI. I'm not even saying that Glaive didn't use AI. But unfortunately, the dangers of AI has caused this person to assume simply using writing rules that have existed for centuries is indicative of using... Like, I get the premise, but this argumentation is like, what? I get the premise of his argument, but the way that he's making his points doesn't make any sense at all.
Just like 2 or 3 examples, and then it says something like, it's not just about this, it's about that. You know, you probably heard that a couple of times before, and this is...
Where do you think the AI learned it from? Where do you think the AI learned how to write like this? How do you think AI learns? Are you guys beginning to see what the issue is over here? We've essentially gone into a just a logical fallacy. If you write too well and follow the rules of writing, you're AI. And so the only way to not be deemed AI is to write so fucking awfully that it just isn't good. And so so you're not using the rules. It's not... I don't get the point that's being made here.
is what really caught my attention. So at that point, I was obviously pretty sure that the entire script
Okay, so to wrap up this intro segment, there's absolutely no premise at all for why there was suspicion in the first place. Equating the usage of the rule of threes in a video script to using AI is not a real premise. This is basically like you failed successfully, where this guy took like a pickaxe, or he took like an axe, right? He meant to chop a tree, but instead of chopping the tree, he like contorted his body, fucking went like this, and then like chopped the earth, and then oil sprung out. And now he's rich. But like, let's, assuming, right, he's right about the Glaive AI thing, let's just make sure that the route to this success, if it is a success, was paid with a lack of intention. Because holy shit, this video makes no sense so far.
for this video was made using AI. The only thing that was weird to me was the fact that Saint was just sitting there with a straight face, not saying anything about this at all. Nothing against him though, maybe
Because I don't view somebody using the rule of threes as AI. Because I'm not retarded and I completed 5th grade of elementary school. So now I'm over here getting accused of not knowing what AI is, when literally I'm being told this by somebody who does not know basic writing rules. That was not in school and it sounds like nonsense. Were you homeschooled by like a fucking caterpillar? Okay, all right, this person's just rage baiting. This person's just rage baiting. I thought it was kind of obvious. Anyways, I'm being schooled, I'm being educated by somebody over here that doesn't know basic writing rules. Awesome. Great. I love this video so much.
he just didn't know, but it's kind of funny to me how bro's just sitting there with a straight face reacting to a ChatGPT prompt, especially
It's funny here that bro's over here saying that basic writing rules are ChatGPT. It's funny that bro's over here saying Alexander fucking Dumas is ChatGPT. Come on, man.
because later on in that video, even he starts to realize that the things he says don't make any sense at all.
I think he just really wanted to push this narrative that Kuro's always subverting expectations when it comes to attributes, and so he just made up the most bullshit. Like, I can like sort of tell he doesn't even believe what he's saying right now.
But whatever, that's not important right now. After
What does that have to do with the rule of threes that you're talking about? That was me saying that Glaive's over-exaggerating how well Kuro planned their marketing. That has nothing to do at all with any of the shit that you were talking about. So, in this short section, never mind, maybe that's why I'm referenced so much, this guy has managed to grossly misattribute anyone repeating things in threes as fucking AIs. And he's also accusing me of not knowing what AI is because it's the fucking rule of threes. Yes, somebody using the rule of fucking threes is not enough for me to assume that their entire script is fucking AI. Because guess what? That was the premise. That's why bro said he's doing the digging. That's why he's doing the investigating, because he gave 3 examples. Guys, these were the fucking examples.
Screenshot. We watched the 2.8 developer livestream hoping for a teaser, a roadmap, or just a little hint of what we will get. The drought.
Anyways, let's get back to this guy. Push this narrative that Kuro's always subverting expectations when it comes to attributes, and
important right now. After I
anyways, so this guy has grossly, basically mischaracterized pretty much all the statements that I made that were shown in the video. He's also went ahead and bastardized the rule of 3. So now if you use it, you're using fucking AI. The premise is not looking good over here. Let's keep it
gathered
going.
some different opinions, I got really curious and I copied the entire transcript for this video into the most well-known and most reliable AI detector in the world. And after scanning the entire script, it turns out it's 99% AI generated, which kind of explains why Glaive is just constantly saying the most random nonsense. But going back to the AI detector,
Let me just do something real fast. Can I use GPT-02? Can I just use it? Do I need to like pay for anything? It's free. What if I just put his entire video in? Wait, how did he even do this? Wait a fucking second. Wait, so you're telling me that this dude did all of this Wait, because this is what it looks like when I'm in it. Wait, so you're telling me that this dude took that transcript and then proceeded to go in and do this? You can ask AI to remove the lines? I don't know, bro. At this point, I don't even know how to use this. I don't even know how to use this. Yeah, I'm cooked. I'm not gonna be able to use that. You can disable timestamps? Ooh, how do I disable the timestamps then? Toggle. Oh, there we go. Toggle timestamps. Ooh, okay. Oh, okay. Here we go. Here we go. All right. I'm just curious. Bro should get a 0%. Wait, this shit is too long. Yeah, you're at a max of 10K characters. All right. Let me just delete as like half of it then. All right. Let's check it out over here. I barely got under the 10K character limit. I just want to see what it looks like. Let me go pop it over on the side real fast just in case anything weird pops up. Hey. That was enough to be considered 5% mixed. That's enough to be considered 5% mixed. It's 95% human. And that's just this dude talking over a video. No, dude, Glaves, don't worry. I think I've got screenshots of other people using Glaves. Let me see over here. I think somebody's done them. Yeah, I'm seeing some of them that say human, some of them that say like 50%. I don't think it really matters. I think the main thing is that the claims being made over here is that every single video, right? Every single one is AI generated. And the thing is, if I'm able to see screenshots of ones that say like human, if I'm able to see screenshots of those, I'm gonna be honest, maybe these are lies, maybe this isn't real, maybe this is doctored. I don't have the time to be going ahead and manually checking every single one, right? And the thing is, not every single one is giving the results that they're AI generated. So, just from the take of, is there one that is? Maybe. Are all of them? Maybe. Do we know for certain? Absolutely not. And do we know that even one of them is AI? Probably not either. The thing is that I am not going to go ahead and with an AI checker, another AI, use that to tell me that there's conclusive proof when the same checker is saying different things about different videos. And that's the unfortunate part, is that I'm not able to, just from that, know what the answer is. Because these AI checkers, they even got this guy's fucking video wrong. It's only 95% human. But most people would be able to tell at first glance, this is without a doubt 100% human in this video right now. It's just a little bit.
I got really curious and I copied the entire transcript for this video into the most well-known and most reliable AI detector in the world. And after scanning the entire script, it turns out it's 99% AI generated, which kind of explains.
I find it weird that Glaves is 99% AI with 1% mixed, but then this guy's video, it was 95% human and 5% mixed.
That's why Glaive is just...
And there's a level of irony, right? There's a level of inherent irony, I think most people can agree, with using AI to check for AI.
Constantly saying the most random nonsense. But going back to the AI detector, for those who don't know, the way this detector works is it simply compares the writing style of the text to the writing style of AI language models, such as ChatGPT. So it compares all the patterns, you know, the phrasing and everything, and the more similar it is to the writing style of AI, which by the way, is a very distinct writing style, the higher the score is. And then
Do we need to look up the instances of college students getting their papers dinged for AI detection because college students write at too high of a writing level? So the way that AI works is very simple. AI takes the best and condenses it down, learns from it, and learns to mimic it. And it oftentimes turns out that writing at a higher level, college level, plus, gets you detected by AI all the time. However, there are still multiple instances of college students cheating, doing all of that, happens all of the time. But it's gotten so confusing, and there have been so many false positives that universities across the globe have started banning AI from being used to detect AI. They've started banning because there's so many false positives. And so, this whole basis, I think this video as a whole, clearly, they've struck a chord somewhere. There's a reason why Glaive privated or deleted his video, right? They clearly struck a chord somewhere. But this is slowly going to turn into, easily, potential for a witch hunt. For any content creator out there that isn't recording videos like me. For any CC out there that isn't recording live videos like me, now it's so easy to simply say, hey, if you're writing at a fucking college grade level, you will be considered AI by some of these checkers because you low-key gotta speak like a fucking... kind of gotta speak like a moron, right? To not get detected by these. That's why, obviously, I don't talk like this in my scripted videos like I do in others. But you want to know something you could probably do right now? Y'all remember when I uploaded a shit ton of scripted videos back in the day? Y'all remember way back in the day, I used to make scripted videos all the time. I wonder for my oldest videos, what does the AI detection on these look like? I'm wondering. Because you know for certain, I've made every single one of these vids. All on my own, right? I wonder what the AI detection on these are. And I would not want this whole narrative to spread that if you're using proper English and have good writing skills, you're AI. That's the narrative that I want to be nipped in the bud immediately. That writing at a high level, using conventional English rules, and having good vocabulary is enough for AI. Fuck it. Let's just check one right now. Fuck it. What's a crate? The best community in gacha game. Hey. Let's see this. Let's see the transcript for this bad boy. I want to see if this is AI. Oh, man. Oh, man. Oh, shit. I just want to see, bro. I just want to see. Betting 2 subs is... Oh, damn. Never mind. Maybe I'm built different. Damn. I'm more human than the... My scripted video is more human than the other guy's live video. Hey. Surely you can This is the thing. I've got 1,000 videos. Right? I've got 1,000 videos. I have absolutely no doubt. There's at least 1, 2, maybe 3 of those videos that could be pushed in and then get a suspicious result. I have no doubt at all that there's at least 1, 2, maybe even 3 of them that could be used. And what I would hate, right, is somebody getting into the mindset of, like, scouring through a CC's VOD because you know these guys are freaks with nothing better to do. Scanning through a CC's VOD to, like, find a video, then, like, upload it into here, and then be like, look, they used AI in the past. They're making all this shit up. Look, this one's fake. Because one of them hit. And so this idea that simply having proper punctuation, grammar, whatever, all of that, good phrasing, is enough to be considered AI, because that's the only reasoning this guy has provided. You're writing like ChatGPT, and ChatGPT uses the rule of threes. So if you use the rule of threes, guys, you're AI. That opens the door for so much, like, fucking absurd digging behind the scenes. This isn't even about Glaive anymore. Like I said before, guys, Glaive already privated his videos. It is what it is. I'm not going to go ahead and defend much more of that. I feel like that alone has already said a statement, right? That alone has already said a statement. He's privated his own videos. I'm talking about this from the perspective of any other creator.
And it tells you if it's human or mixed or just straight up AI generated, like in this case. And before somebody says, This detector is not reliable, bro. You can't just blindly trust whatever it says. Of course not. There are some AI detectors that can be wrong, but not this one. To see if this detector actually works, I took the scripts of other faceless gacha content creators who also rely on scripts to make their videos.
So this is also a person that has never passed a statistics class, because you would learn in statistics the rule of averages and sample sizes. And if you want an actual sample size, 4 is not a statistical sample size. So to say these statements are like objectively true, or to say that you have proof, you have a fact to refute it, and your evidence is a sample size of fucking 4, and it's like, brother, the basis of this... You remember the analogy I said of swinging your axe at a tree, missing, hitting a rock, and then finding oil? Are you beginning to see how that's exactly what I'm fucking saying? Because we're like basically putting together this piece, and there's not any actual good, meaningful evidence. It's just been, hey, I had a bit of a hunch.
Just like Glaive, I compared the results using the exact same method, and as you guys can see, all of their scripts were not being detected as AI. Not a single one had even 1% AI in it.
Not even 1%, but then this video gets 5. This is the thing. It's like, brother, we don't even know which videos these are and who they're from. It's just like, you might have actually done 30. You might have actually done like 40. But for right now, it's like you want to actually make a case. You want to make an argument over here. And there's just not a lot of information being given when you're basically making a hit piece. There's no sources. I don't even know which videos these are. And you want to know the best part about this? I can't even replicate these because I don't know which videos he did. And you want to know what not showing any of the actual sources or proof does? It opens this guy up to the claim of these are all fake. And I'm not saying these are. These could entirely be real. But I'm telling you, when you don't show the sources and I'm not able to verify it for myself, isn't there a bit of an issue? Which video's this one? Which one's this one? Which one's that one? Maybe I want to actually make sure that this one's not AI. Maybe I actually want to make sure that this one is showing the 85%, the 95% that it actually is. So yeah, like I said before, we're missing here, but we're still hitting.
As AI. Not a single one had even 1% AI in it. I tested...
Not a single one even had 1% AI in it. Okay. You can literally see right here, this one says 4%. Like, you can literally see right here, this one says 4%. So, like I said, the guy is like actually just caught lying in the video. He's just caught lying in the video because it says this one is clearly not full. This is what I mean when you don't show the sources or the proof and then you immediately proceed to contradict yourself later in the video. Don't nitpick over 1%. I'm not nitpicking over 1%. I'm saying that the lack of sources and the fact that even this guy is, well, not stating the information correctly can lead people to just imagine what the fuck is he actually trying to say right now.
As AI. Not a single one had even 1% AI in it.
And we just saw one that had 4% mixed.
I tested multiple videos from Bars 2. I tested multiple videos from this guy who's very similar to Glaive. I tested this guy's video scripts. I even tried putting my own video scripts in there, and none of these scripts turned out as AI. All of them had a score of 100% human.
Okay, so that's just wrong too.
The only videos...
Are we good? Am I still nitpicking? Am I still nitpicking? Or is it just okay for him to just straight up lie about what he just showed in his video? Is that still nitpicking? I'm curious. Just wondering.
That were being detected as AI were all the videos from Glaive. So I think it's pretty safe to say that this detector is in fact reliable.
Okay. So we're saying that the detector is 100% reliable from, again, a sample size of 4 creators. And the evidence was, hey, all of these other creators are 100% human. but also I lied. Not all of them are 100% human. What?
Anyway, after making sure this detector is trustworthy, I teamed up with a friend of mine and we spent an entire day testing countless other videos from Glaive to see if he's using AI for them as well, and the results are pretty shocking. But now, let me show you guys all the evidence one by one. The problem with calling Genshin Impact a kids game: 93% AI. Why Genshin is the world's most successful gacha: 100% AI. Bro didn't even try to hide it. Genshin Impact main character isn't the main character: 95% AI. How Genshin Impact sells disappointment: 97% AI. 5 years later, Genshin Impact still doesn't respect your time. You know, I think we should probably change the title. How
You want to know what I find really interesting about this? There's proper punctuation that you can see across this entire video. This is obviously one of Glaive's Uma Musume videos. You can see franchise's unpredictable spirit, breaking the fourth wall. This is pretty obviously, right, Glaive's gold ship video, right? I would assume this is like his gold ship video, right?
Spirit. If you have seen any clips from the game or the...
Yeah. So, we can actually see the exact lines over here. Franchise's unpredictable spirit, right? Face of the franchise's unpredictable spirit. Face of the franchise's unpredictable spirit. We can confirm, right? We can confirm that that's the exact same lines. You want to know what it looks like when I just take it and paste it? When I just take it and paste it into here, it looks like this, right? And so you can see that there was like, it looks like this when you paste it, right? That's not really what you were probably expecting, right? That doesn't look as accurate compared to what we just saw on the screen, right? Not formatted at all, very blocky, no dashes, anything like that. And when you look at the version that they're doing by themselves, it has like perfect punctuation and spacing. This is the one from the video. So like, yeah, I don't really know. I will say, it appears that they've done a lot of work on their transcript. They did a lot of work on this transcript. Like, you know, doing stuff like this, doing a little bit of that, you know, like kind of doing this. You know, they were doing that. Right? On the transcript. And then they got the results that they did. Yeah, what if I just scan it? So, I don't think that necessarily did anything, but just something to keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen. This is more so into this take. It's more so into... Wait, where the fuck even was it? Into this take. Guys, these motherfuckers took all of these videos and then literally unindented, publicized, or like, and then like punctuated all of them. Like, they've properly formatted all of his videos. Like, they spent hours. They spent hours on this. And you want to know one of the other parts? And I think that this is a question, right? I'm not going to tell you how to feel about it. I'm not going to tell you how to feel about it. What likely occurred over here is that Glaive Kyo, at least in my opinion, made a list of points and then maybe had AI help him out with the punctuation and the grammar. How you feel about him doing that is your opinion. Is it safe to say that Glaive Kyo edits his own videos? Yes. Is it fair to say that Glaive Kyo is not a native English speaker? Yes. Is it fair to say that Glaive is an ESL in a third world country? Literally. I don't mean this as an insult. ESL, or sorry, not ESL, but English learning in a third world country. Yes. And the thing is, hey, if the take is using AI means that you're an evil, terrible person in any context, then you're gonna know how to feel, right? You're obviously going to be against it to every degree. Is this somebody using AI to make up for potential shortcomings in their education or their life experiences? Hey guys, like, I'm going to be honest, right? I'm going to be honest, right? If somebody's using AI to pass a language barrier, I mean, hey, If you have a problem with that, then never use Google Translate ever again. Right? So from the perspective of, hey, he's producing his own original thoughts and then having AI help him repackage his thoughts for an EN audience because he doesn't know the language very well. Is that the worst thing ever? I have a softer opinion on it because I'm a native English speaker. And I'm thinking about it from the perspective of, I could use AI to potentially translate my content for a different regional audience. Would it be terrible if I had AI redub the script? Because that's what YouTube actually does, guys. Did you know that? YouTube actually has a manual feature to do literally this for your own videos, where they translate them into a different language using AI. And you want to know what, guys? If it's translating my vids into fucking Portuguese, guess what? I didn't do that. The AI did. So even like YouTube channels and stuff are kind of doing this. Because you want to know what I imagine Glaive is likely doing? He's putting in the points, and then from there, having AI help break down the arguments that he's trying to make into a more coherent format. Is that the worst thing ever? Maybe. But this is the thing. None of us know the process that he's going through to do this. None of us even know if he's even using AI. Maybe he is, right? But this is the thing. Is it him writing shit in, I don't know, whatever language he's fluent in, and then he uses ChatGPT to help him translate it into, like, a good English version? Would you guys get mad if that's what he was doing? Writing his scripts in the language that he speaks, and then ChatGPT helps him translate it, and then he publishes those as videos? Would that be bad? I guess this is the thing, is that I'm just trying to look at this situation from a bunch of different angles. I'm just looking at this situation from a bunch of different angles, right? And the main thing is that if this was like an EN content creator, right? If this was like a Genizad, right? Going ahead and then like having somebody like just write up scripts for him because he's like too lazy to make his own videos, I would get the hate, right? I would get the hate. But when it's a circumstance where it's ESL, third world country, maybe you didn't learn it in school, but you want to be able to interact with global communities. If somebody's using AI as a way to expand their reach when they just kind of, I'm just going to be honest, guys. I don't mean this in any offensive way, but the chances is that if you grew up in a different place than Glaive, you probably might have more resources available to you to be educated and have a skill set. Is that fair to say? Knowing again, third world country, right? Is it fair to say that somebody that wasn't born there was maybe a little bit more lucky with the role, right? They ended up in like America or like Europe or I don't know, like fucking born to like a rich Chinese person. Somebody using AI in this circumstance to circumvent a natural debuff that they had no decision in taking on. I'm not going to read into that much, but that's the thing. This is Glaive's story to tell, right? This is Glaive's take to make. The thing is, I'd rather just wait for the details, see the take from his end, before really going in and form a full opinion about it. Because this is the thing, guys. Like I said, I'm a different person than he is, and one thing that I'm actually able to employ is this concept called empathy.
About 5 years later, Glaive Kyo still doesn't respect your time.
So, like I said before, these guys basically went into, and for all the videos that they talked about, they manually added in the punctuation, because this is what it looks like just from the transcript. Yeah, that's a lot of work. Anyways.
Time. Buddy, you're making your own viewers listen to a 90% AI-generated script. The only one who's wasting our time here is probably you. Genshin Impact and the illusion of generosity. 84% AI. Explaining the toxic fandom of Genshin Impact. 88% AI. He proved my point. Why we defend broken gacha games. 98% AI.
So, if I told you that all of those videos were translated by somebody who isn't that fluent in English, how does that make you feel now? So, does them being AI matter that much if the person is not naturally fluent in English and they're using AI to help them write videos for English viewers? Why are we assuming he isn't fluent, though? Because I've spoken to him before? Because I know who he is? Because I've seen his fucking streams, and when he talks on stream, he sounds like a fucking... He literally sounds like a tourist to America. Like, he sounds like he's not from America. Proof? Oh, God. Like, do I even need to, like... Let me just say this. Guys, there's a reason why Glaive Kyo's Twitch is not bumping.
crew deck, which is the main content. I'm gonna be for real with you. I saw what happened, like behind the scenes. I saw it, and it's so cool. It's
basically, if he's not reading off of a script, he does not string together words very well. Sounds fluent to me. Guys, there's a difference between being able to say very basic words and actually being able to communicate at the level that he does in his fucking videos. Compare this to how he talks in his videos. This is like you looking at somebody who's able to say, konnichiwa, surimasen. And then you heard them just say those 2 words and you're like, oh, that guy's fluent. I heard him say it. He said konnichiwa. He must be fluent. Guys, Glaive himself, how about you take this? Glaive himself has told me he possesses weaknesses in English. And that's why his recorded videos, he's able to sound so much more mature and collected than on his streams. That's literally a fact that I have been told. He can confirm it himself. And so, with that framing in mind and with that context in mind, ladies and gentlemen, I don't view the AI to even be that bad at all. Assuming that's the reason why it's done.
He couldn't even respond to the GIF without using AI. Bro's unironically using AI to respond to another person.
You want to know the funniest part about this attack? Is that you can boil this down into the main way for Glaive to be able to communicate due to his language barrier is to use translation features to communicate his message. And so essentially, this guy's saying, hey, because you aren't able to respond without using a translator, we're gonna make fun of you. So this video, when you know all the facts, essentially is like literally a racist attack. They're attacking Glaive because he doesn't know enough English. That's what it is. Because the reason why Glaive is using these AI features is because of a language barrier. And to continually point out how terrible it is for him to be using AI that way, they're literally attacking him because he doesn't know English enough. So this video actually literally is like a racist, like it has incredible racist undertones to it. Like incredibly racist undertones. When you get down to the nitty gritty and you know the information, this is kind of bad. Because that's what Glaive is using the AI for.
Like, come on, bro. This is genuinely sad. The funny part is, if he's gonna react to this video, he's probably gonna have to ask ChatGPT to tell him how he can defend himself.
Yeah, because he isn't that good at English. And this entire video and this entire attack is in English. So he has to use ChatGPT to understand fully how you're attacking him. And you're going to use him using AI to understand your attack as another opportunity to attack him. It's actually a catch. Wait, this is the most ultimate catch-22 I've ever seen. You don't know English that well. You're being attacked in English for using AI to understand English. And so if you respond, you're confirming that you use AI. And if you don't respond, you're like confirming it because you're not responding. But the only way you can respond properly is to use the AI because you don't know English that well. So it's like a bonus catch-22 with like a racism modifier, a racism damage multiplier added on top. That's crazy. That's crazy.
Because judging by that, it seems like he doesn't even possess enough brain capacity to formulate his own thoughts into words. At this,
he manually writes his points. Oh, so this is how Glaive uses AI. Okay, so he manually writes down a bunch of points for research and then uses AI to help him compile his findings. Because he's not good at writing, because he sucks at English. You can do your own research, but be terrible at writing. That's why there are technical writers that take the production, right, of like computer science engineers, of people that make bridges, right, of people that make rocket ships, but they suck dick at writing. But somebody else writes for them. Nowadays, it's AI. But I can literally see him putting in the effort to do the research for his videos. Are you telling me that it's all AI slop when this is what he's putting into ChatGPT? So the scripts are still AI? Who cares? Is the research being done by AI? You want to know what else is AI? Rotting outside, Mr. Critical? Because you did follow today. I think you're a Genshin Impact player that was begging to see me maybe cook Glaive a little bit. What's wrong with the scripts being AI when all that's happening is the writing? When the research, the editing, the thumbnails, all of that is being manually made. And the only reason why he's not doing the writing himself is because English is like his second or third language, and he's not good at writing. Guys, I think that this is a circumstance. After I see this, after I see all of the glue that's on the screen right now of him listing out every individual point and then compiling all of the counter arguments and all of that, and then his videos are structured literally in the exact same way as his notes, and all ChatGPT did was just add flowery language to cover his points, put some clothing on. Guys, am I gonna tell somebody that their entire career is a scam and that they're fake because they're not good at writing, but they're able to do everything else when it comes to the video? I wouldn't. Like, Jesus. And when you know, again, that this is all because Glaive has an issue with his English. Oh, this is not looking too good now, is it? Oh, it's not looking too good now.
Point, I wouldn't be surprised if even his titles are AI generated. But let's continue. Hoyoverse is ignoring you. Genshin Impact Miliastra Wonderland Drama, 89% AI. Genshin Impact isn't what I thought it was anymore. 72% AI and 15% human. Now that's a new record. Honkai Star Rail just solved its biggest problem.
So this video is just him going through a bunch of different checkers. And the baseline take is AI is bad. No questions about it. And that is the take of the video creator. If you use AI in any context, it's bad. So this is going to be my next... Y'all remember when Genshin Impact made like a whole little article about how they were going to be using AI in their development moving forward? I'm just saying. I'm just saying Hoyo's published public statements that they're going to be using AI. I just wanted to let you know that.
100%.
If we're going to go with the whole blanket statement, using AI is bad.
AI once again. Goldchip, the biggest rage baiter of Ume Musume, 82% AI. The series of disappointment we learned to accept in Honkai Star Rail, 100% AI. Why this NPC looks better than Diluc, 87% AI. I owe you an explanation. Genshin Impact 6.2.
So, what this guy has not actually established yet is why the AI in this circumstance is bad. And the only reasoning he's gave is that AI is bad because it's AI. We went from AI is bad because it's AI. That's the video. Yes, I'm going to say that if your only argument is using AI is bad, and you know the guy is from Indonesia and has a language barrier, and so you're basically saying your content is bad because you don't know as much English as me, which is incredibly racist.
Yeah, really nice apology there, bro. Very original and honest of you. Brother, you could have at least made the apology yourself. Bro, talking about some, let's be honest, and then the entire...
Being able to speak basic conversational English doesn't mean you're eloquent enough to be able to convey your points effortlessly like ugh. I think what a lot of individuals in this space can't immediately recognize is that being able to articulate your points in a manner like mine without any preparation at all is not necessarily a skill that every individual on this planet possesses. It's something that actually takes a lot of practice. You got to have like a certain frame of mind to be able to string together words with a level of coherency and structure and vocabulary that exceeds a regular conversation. And it's not something that everybody can just do right off rip. And you want to know what the funniest thing is? I don't even think 99% of you in the fucking stream right now would be able to talk as long as I have right now and with as much sense and dignity. Can you do that? No. That's what Glaive does in his videos. And so if Glaive can't do that on stream, but he does it in his videos, guess what? A lot of people can read a script and make it sound decent. A lot of people can just read a script and make it sound decent because they got the preparation. But just doing it out on fly, doing it like this, why do you think Glaive doesn't have a single video on his channel that's a VOD of his stream? Why do you think Glaive, in his entire career, doesn't have a single video on his channel that's a VOD from his stream? Not a single one. 194 videos, and not a single one is a VOD recorded from stream. Every single one is a recorded vid. Probably because he can't do the videos live. It's really that simple, because he's not good at English. And again, we're just back at the same point that I've been making over and over again, guys.
Our apology is written by AI. Like, come on, bro. What are we doing at this point? By the way, I even put Arlecchino ASMR into this detector just to see what happens. And guess what? Even that mommy ASMR script has more effort put into it than this apology. But
you know what the funniest thing is? This guy is equating using AI as putting in no effort. That just categorically has to be false, right? He's saying AI means no effort. These are all the notes that he took for a video. These are all the notes that Glaive took for one video.
But whatever, we're getting off track. Let's continue. We still have more to go. The flawed masterpiece of Genshin Impact. 76% AI and 24% mixed. Wuthering Waves 2.8 when quality of life updates aren't enough. 77% AI, 16% mixed. Zenless Zone Zero just broke the Hoyoverse cycle.
I'm gonna speed it up. This guy's just going through, hey, we got the entire fucking
100% AI. I'm not even surprised anymore. So as you can see, that's pretty much how all of his videos look like. The only thing that really stood out to me were his older videos. Now those have pretty huge AI percentages in them too. This one has 59, for example. This one has 72%. This one even has 94% mixed. And this one has 82% AI. So it seems like he's been using AI generated scripts from the very beginning,
which would line up with the idea that he doesn't know English that well, and he's just been doing this the entire time. He's not good at writing. So if anything, he's just been consistent. So he's a guy from Indonesia that doesn't have great English skills, that wants to make gacha content, and so he uses AI to help reinforce his lack of writing skills in English. Just tell me, how bad is that? How bad is that? A guy from a third world country wants to make it big in the gacha space, but he isn't great in English, and so he uses an AI engine to help him with his one deficiency. You want to know what most people would call this? Most people would call this actually somebody taking their life, their career into their own hands. Most people would call this hustling. Most people would actually call this hustling. He's using AI as somebody from a fucking third world country to innovate. Why are you guys mad? Why are you guys mad?
although not to such a high degree. Either he was just better at covering it up back then by sprinkling
Maybe the reason why he just never mentioned it is because he knew there would be retarded children like you that would blanket statement just say AI is bad without even attempting to understand any of the context at all. And you've managed to reach so far into this delusion that you've actually literally become racist towards anybody who doesn't speak English. Hey guys, if you have any language barrier at all, if you use AI to communicate in English in any way, lazy. Just learn English. Just learn English, you lazy, pathetic person. That's how this video comes off as now. And who's surprised that the person making it is a Hoyo shill?
in some of his own words here and there, or he actually was writing the scripts himself to some degree. But overall, it's pretty obvious that these things are pretty much entirely AI generated, especially when you look at something like this. Here's the real danger: when you're shutting down good faith criticism, you're not just silencing companies, you're hurting the game in the long run. Dude, you could have just said something like, when you're shutting down genuine or good faith criticism, you're hurting the game in the long run. That's it. Why would you put you're not just silencing companies in there? If it was a human being writing that script, you wouldn't even get the idea to put this into your script because it simply doesn't make any sense in that context.
What does he even say? Is he trying to point out like minute?
In the long run, dude, you could have just.
I'm sorry. Let me just replay it. I'm
obvious that these things are pretty much entirely AI generated, especially when you look at something Here's the real danger: when you're shutting down good faith criticism, you're not just silencing companies, you're hurting the game in the long run. Dude,
when you shut down criticism, you're not just silencing people, you're hurting the game in the long run. That's a very sensible statement that makes sense. Okay, so this entire segment is going to be this guy not understanding English and then saying that Glaive's statement or Glaive's video doesn't make sense because he doesn't understand English. So this guy is merely going to use his own deficiency in the English language to find flaws in Glaive's script. Because this dumb motherfucker just read complaints as companies, and that's why he doesn't understand why Glaive's script.
something like this. Here's the real danger. When you're shutting down good faith criticism,
You're not just silencing complaints.
you're not just silencing companies.
No, he's retarded. That's the issue. He can't read English. He read complaints as companies. He doesn't understand the statement from Glaive's script, and so he's going to say there's a problem with it.
You're hurting the game in the long run. Dude, you could have just said something like, when you're shutting down genuine or good faith criticism, you're hurting the game in the long run. That's it. Why would you put, you're not just silencing companies in there? If it was a human being writing that script, you wouldn't even get the idea to put this into your script because it simply doesn't make any sense in that context.
No, this guy just can't read.
Video is about people comparing MUA players to Genshin players. How do you get from that to the silencing of companies? If he was actually writing
Is this
that script
entire
himself, he
point
wouldn't
based
even
off
get
the fact that this dumb motherfucker couldn't read? Wait, this entire segment is because he couldn't read?
idea to include this nonsense? Or take a look at this, for example. Here's the truth.
Brother, this is the last person that should be saying that somebody using AI is lazy, because this guy needs to use AI.
You shouldn't have to lower your standards just because you're used to disappointment. Expect more, demand bigger. This shit genuinely sounds like an ad, bro. Like, what kind of goofy-ass ChatGPT phrasing is that? Or check out this one. This one is the funniest one to me.
It is called the extraction phase. When a live service
This is the worst. These are the worst examples I've
is new,
ever
it is
seen.
what we call a growth phase. The developers throw everything at you. Massive maps, free rewards, endless story chapters, because they're trying to get you in the door. They want your attention. But recently, or for the past year, this is not growth anymore. This is extraction.
This writing is so stupid. Not even the dumbest human being in this world could make this up. Like,
You wanna know how this guy... This writing is so stupid. You know, like not even the dumbest human in the world can make it up. Oh my god, now I'm gonna talk like this for the rest of the video because that's how the video maker is talking. He's just talking like this the entire time. Dude, I feel retarded talking like that. That's how you feel every fucking day. I'm so sorry for you.
what are these phrases? Also, what are you talking about, bro?
The drought was real. The reliable leakers were empty-handed, and the community's excitement was starting to curdle into genuine frustration.
He talking about the drought was real. The reliable leakers were empty-handed, and the community's excitement was starting to curdle into genuine frustration. Brother, not a single leaker was
This guy doesn't actually understand English himself. And so he's just looking at properly written sentences and finding something wrong with them. What the fuck? This guy just doesn't know English, so he's looking at proper English and then saying there's something wrong with it. That's the entire section of the video. I'm not watching this shit. I'm not fucking watching that shit. Every example in there was literally inducing brain damage.
GPT, and they probably don't even know this, so I don't blame them, right? But it's just so dystopian to me how all this time nobody realized it's all just nothing more than AI slop. Now,
If something is made by AI or AI contributed to something being made, that doesn't automatically make it slop. When an individual puts in this much effort to take notes and create the points that the AI is writing a script around, I'm simply just viewing that as somebody with a writing deficiency using tools to make up for it to create their content and do their job. I'm not going to expect every single scientist out there to also be a technical writer. And this idea that somebody can't use AI to bolster the points that they research themselves and then they're editing their own video, making their own thumbnail and writing their own titles for a script, for a script written by somebody who has a language barrier. Who cares? And this idea that Glaive is lazy, pathetic, putting in less effort because he uses AI to make up for his language barrier is the most racist thing I've heard in a long time. You are lazy, pathetic, you're slop because you don't know English well enough. That's the main message in this video, because that's the reason why Glaive is using AI in the first place. Because guess what, motherfucker? If I was gonna go through the effort, you wanna know who is a good writer? I am. I'm a great script writer. There's a reason why I brought up my channel of my past videos, because I have over like 100 plus scripted videos. I'm a good writer. And you wanna know what I would do instead of doing this? If I was writing a script, I would just write it. I wouldn't take all these notes and do all this shit, because I know how to compartmentalize the points and stuff in my brain, structure out the points, and then already create like paragraphs and stuff. Because I've been writing for 20 plus fucking years in English. And so I have that knowledge. That's how I do it. This dude's over here taking notes like he's in 6th fucking grade. And that's not a problem. You wanna know why? because he lives in Indonesia and English isn't his first language. If I used AI to make my videos, that's me being a lazy piece of shit, because I have all the tools, all the resources, and all the knowledge necessary to do it by myself. So if I were to use AI, that is lazy. That is pathetic. But for him, the context is entirely fucking different. And the incredibly aggressive, tone-deaf wording used in this video just leads me to assume this Zome dude is just one of the biggest haters possible. And in their hate, they also ended up being one of the most racist individuals possible. What a amazing, amazing, amazing situation. So I'm just gonna say over here, right off the rip, it's hilarious that he's being called the biggest liar. It's hilarious that this is being called like an expose. Because guess what, ladies and gentlemen? You wanna know what the biggest sign was that Glaive Keo was using AI in the first place? How are y'all even fucking surprised? When this fucking shit is AI, and he shows this fucking gay-ass avatar in every goddamn video. Everyone knew this shit was AI. Motherfucker wasn't keeping it a fucking secret. The hell? Just look at this shit. It pops up in every fucking video. What, are you suddenly surprised?
It is rare for the entire...
This shit! We all knew this was AI the whole fucking time. Wait, this is maybe one of the actual drawn ones. He has a different one that's AI. I know one of these out there is AI, and then he like got one of them hand drawn later on. I don't fucking know, right? You are his first avatar. His first couple of avatars in the space were AI, okay? And it was this shit. It was like way back then though. But you guys get the message. So my main takeaway over here is going to be very simple. Did Glaive Keo use AI? Probably. Is he using AI to avoid work and be a lazy piece of shit that just steals efforts from others? No, because he's just using AI to help write his scripts, and then he researches all the points, structures all the arguments himself, because he lives in a third world country, English is not his first language, and he doesn't possess amazing writing skills like other creators. And so he uses other tools to help him out. Is that enough for you to call him the biggest liar in the space? Is that enough to consider him exposed? Is that enough for him to be canceled? I personally don't think so. However, you're free to do and respond to this situation in whatever way that you like. However, all this has really shown me is that Zome is of the mindset to make extremely illegitimate attacks and also set a horrifying context for creators in the future. Hey, if you're somebody where English isn't your first language, don't make content. You're not allowed. You're not allowed. You want to know why? Because you gotta know English. You gotta know English to make content here. You gotta write everything on your own. And if you don't know English enough, get out. We're gonna cancel you. Doesn't that just sound bad? Because that's what it is. Because you want to know how many people are using AI because of a language barrier? You want to know how many people are using AI because of a language barrier? Millions of people every day. Millions of people every day are using AI because they don't understand another language. Yeah, I bet you guys have you guys used this before? Have you guys used this before? Ever used Google Lens when you're in a foreign country? Yeah, that's all right here too. So yeah, turns out you might not hate AI as much as you think. And when somebody's using it in this context, I'm not going to attack them. But somebody stupider than me might. So, yeah, remember, the statement in this video was that AI is just blanket statement bad. Ain't that poetic? Let me know what you all thought. We're not watching the rest of this dog shit video because we already know it's not very good. Let me know what you all thought about this situation, whether or not Glaive should be canceled, or whether or not it's not really that big of a deal. Let me know what you all thought. Peace out.